Hi there, Dave here, how are you? Today I'm going to talk about shop vacs being used in my workshop and also why we use a shop vac and not a dirty big dust extractor for some applications. Stick with me, here we go. Here we have my little random orbital sander, and it's got a very small outlet to hook a hose onto, and it just happens to be, whoop, that looks a bit bad. It happens to be this, which is a 27mm hose. Now that fits on there snug. The hose itself isn't getting in the way at all, so I can sand away and have a ball. Now, if I had a 4-inch hose hanging off the back of it, that would be a little awkward. You can imagine, it's just not going to work. So there is a way of doing it though. If you need to use a 4-inch hose and that's all you've got, you can get away with it by putting a 4-inch to 1.5 inch reducer, and then, pardon me, plug your hose, keeps on coming up in that wrong spot, plug your hose into the end of that adapter, and away you go. It will work, but nowhere near as efficiently as a shop vac that is dedicated to being used on one of those hoses. Anyway, shop vacs normally are transportable and you can take them with you. Small hose makes it easy, you pack it up in the back of a car and away you go. Shop vacs have the same principle of creating a low air pressure as do the larger dust extractors, but they get there in a slightly different way. Dust extractors tend to spin around, have a large fan that spins around, and centrifugal force throws the air out and creates this low pressure which pulls the air in through a large impeller. Now, those things are also designed to go onto larger machines that have got large chip sections in them. They'd probably clog this up. You wouldn't be able to use these. So they run on that principle of spin a big impeller around like crazy, centrifugal force throws the air out, and everything that's caught in it creates a low pressure just in front of the impeller, and the atmosphere pushes, or should I say doesn't pull, it pushes the air through the hose, through the machine first, through the hose, and then through the impeller and into the collection point. Shop vacs do it slightly differently. Shop vacs use a turbine, so they are forcing the air through a constricted area. So it's pushing it through much like an Archimedean screw. You could consider it that way, where it's turning around and it just grabs hold of whatever's in there, forces it through. Still creates the low pressure, and the atmosphere is then saying, hello, we need to fill this void quickly, and punches the air through and carries all the dust with it at the same time. So this guy's creating the dust. This is just a random orbital sander. Gets sucked up through the hose, continues along through the hose, and then at the end of the hose it plugs into a blast gate. Now the blast gate is 2.5 inch diameter on one side and 2 inches on the other side. 2.5, 2 inch. This is 36mm. Look how convenient it is. That pushes perfectly inside. This little guy holds my blast gate open. There you go, see? Can't shut. Sometimes when these are pulling really hard, the air pressure will pull that gate shut, but we don't want that to happen. Okay? So that's how that works. Now, next part of the stage. We'll pull those off there. 2.5 inch or 65mm PVC pipe is perfect for these things. The 2.5 inch side pushes into there perfectly. Look at that. So now I have a blast gate. Let's see if I can see right down the middle. Yep. On the end of my pipe. Brilliant. Now, the next step. Put all your pipe up. Try not to do 90-degree bends. If you're going to do a 90-degree bend, do a sweep. Don't do a hard corner like this. You lose a lot of your velocity in your airflow. This best to do a 45 or a couple of 45s, or as I was saying, a 90-degree sweep. Pretty easy so far. Now, it travels around on my ceiling. You might be able to see some of it there. Let's just swing this around. Yep, you can see the pipe running down the middle, and there's a point down there that it picks up on. I'll zap down there and point at it. There you go, there's a pickup point down here. Another one there that I pulled off the top there to show you. You'll notice that I don't glue my fittings together. These things stay tight. They don't come off easily. And also, if you want to change things around, it's going to be so much easier. So there you go. These are fantastic. From there, it tracks around and then comes down the wall, and I might show you that. And then under there, that fitting right up the back that's got the 90-degree bend that I just told everyone don't do it, that goes through onto that grey flexi hose. And the flexi hose goes into my cyclone, and the cyclone spins all the rubbish out of the airstream. The crap drops down into that bin in the bottom, and the fresh air, well, mostly fresh, comes up through the top. It gets up there because this guy here is creating the low pressure or negative air pressure. And so it's sucking as per any normal vacuum cleaner. How cool is that? Now, once it's been sucked through there, mine vents straight out the wall because I'm in a situation where I don't have neighbours. On the top, there is a switch that changes from automatic to manual. You can see there's a power point. That power point runs up to a splitter, and then the power runs down to above every outlet on every machine that I have in the workshop. And that's it. So that was a quick and nasty one. I didn't have much time this weekend. I've been laying pavers and having all sorts of fun this weekend, and I promised to try and get one video out a week. So there you go. That's a quick tour around my high pressure, low volume dust extraction system, otherwise known as my shop vac with a lot of hoses off it. See you later. Thanks for watching.